Good evening from Thailand, and good morning and good afternoon to all of our viewers in different time zones, and welcome to AIT Roadshow Live. You're with me, Tanisa. And in this edition, we'll focus on new initiatives AIT is introducing to provide more flexibility to our prospective students. We are introducing one-year master's options and flexible degree options. But before we get to that, let me start by introducing our guest today. We have all of our three deans from our three schools with us. First up, Professor Dieter Trau, Dean of School of Engineering Technology.
Yeah, welcome to the event.
Thank you. Professor Shubhakar Jakal, Dean of School of Environment, Resources and Development.
Hello, welcome to this event.
Thank you. And Dr. Roger Livermore, Dean of School of Management.
Hello too.
Welcome all to the show. Now, let me just briefly talk about some housekeeping rules. Although we are on Zoom and broadcast to Facebook Live, the audience on Facebook can, as usual, leave questions or comments in the comment box below the Facebook Live window. We have a dedicated team to help respond to your questions in written form, and towards the end of the show, we'll select some questions for our deans to respond to at the end of, during the Q&A section of the show. So to start off the show, let me introduce to our audience who we are. Now, AIT is an international postgraduate university established in 1959 to be the educational hub for the Asian region. We are based in 2 locations in Bangkok, Thailand, and we also have centers in Vietnam. Among our 3 schools, over 30 academic programs are offered, all taught in English, which is our official language on campus. And over the past 60 years, we have produced over 25,000 alumni from more than 100 countries and territories. Our campus normally houses about 1,500 students each year from over 40 countries around the world. So even though we were established to be the hub for the Asian region, we have in fact reached beyond that and have been able to welcome students from other parts of the world as well. Now, we have been globally recognized as evidenced in our rankings. Our MBA program, Roger here from the School of Management, has been ranked #1 in Thailand and #14 in Asia on the QS Global Rankings 2021. Apart from that, this year, also on QS, we are #7 in Asia in diversity and #18 in the world in return on investment. Apart from this, we were ranked 19th in the world and 1st in Thailand in SDG 1 or No Poverty in Times Higher Education Impact Ranking 2020. And by QS, #2 in Thailand in Engineering and Technology. Now, we focus on 5 thematic areas, which are climate change, smart communities, food, energy, and water security, infrastructure, and technology, policy, and society. All these are to ensure that we are the driver of social impact with innovation. Now, AIT offers a variety of degree types. As you can see on the screen now, we offer regular master's degrees, regular doctoral degrees, one-year master's degrees, flexible degree options, certificate degrees, MPhil degrees, and dual degrees. And for today's show, we'll talk more about the one-year master's and the flexible degree options in a little bit. Now, as I have just mentioned, there are 3 schools at AIT, School of Engineering and Technology, and the nickname we use on campus is SET or SET, School of Management or SOM, and School of Environment, Resources and Development or CERD. So now I'll ask our deans to introduce their school. Let's start with Dieter of School of Engineering and Technology. So Dieter, please.
Yes, thanks, Tanisha. So at SET, we are developing highly qualified engineers and technologists and equip them with the knowledge and the management skills to play a leading role in promoting the region's industrial competitiveness and its integration into the global economy. We have 3 departments as SET, which you can see now on the screen. The Department of Civil and Infrastructure Engineering, the Department of Industrial Systems Engineering, and the Department of Information and Communication Technologies. So at all these departments, we have a number of programs which you are listed now And we teach the very classical disciplines such as civil engineering, but with a modern edge in smart cities, for example, and classical areas like water engineering and management, but with a focus on sustainability and climate. We also teach some rather new disciplines, such as nanotechnology, Internet of Things, data science, and artificial intelligence. So in its history, SET actually was a pioneer in robotics here in Thailand, and is very strong, in certain related fields like telecommunication and industrial management. So that's a quick overview about my department. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dieter. Now let's move on to Shabaka for School of Environment, Resources and Development, or CERD. Please, Shabaka.
Yes, thank you, Tanisha. Let me introduce our School of Environment, Resources and Development. As the name itself suggests, our school deals with sustainability. The key sustainability issues that confronts Asia and beyond. We deal with the major sustainability issues such as food, energy, water, natural resources, environment and climate change, urbanization, and social and regional development. We have over 18 academic programs that you see on the screen, and these academic programs are spread across 3 departments. Our 3 departments are Department of Energy, Environment and Climate Change, Department of Food, Agriculture and Bioresources, and Department of Development and Sustainability. So 4 key pillars through which we aim to provide the social impacts to society, to region, to our stakeholders are human resources development through our degree programs. We wish to provide knowledge and thought leadership. We wish to contribute towards innovation in technological applications, policies, and practices. And we work very closely with our partners. The partners are governments, private sector, international organizations, and civil society. So together with our partners, we want to make real change in the sustainability issues that confronts Asia. Now, if you look at our school itself has a good host of our researchers, experts, and students. We have 35 faculty members from over 20 countries. We have 500 students from 32 countries, over 70 research staffs, and over 8,500 alumni who are spread across the world. And our key attributes are internationality, interdisciplinarity, and multicultural. So these 3 things really sit in the heart of our school. And as I said earlier, we deal with sustainability issues. That's why we pay special attention to sustainable development goals. You know that in 2015, under the United Nations, these goals has been set for 2030. So in our short to mid-term, we are really focused on these sustainable development goals, achieving and supporting for its cause. But in the longer term, we also deal with longer term issues beyond 2030, such as climate change, biodiversity, and others. Thank you.
Thank you, Shabaka. And now I'll give the floor to Roger for School of Management.
Thank you very much. So I think I'd like to start off by echoing what the other 2 deans have said about diversity. The School of Management, SOM, has very strong diversity across different parts of Asia. And in fact, the faculty come from many different parts of the world. A very important thing to go through and emphasize here is that a lot of our students actually come from backgrounds of science, technology, and engineering. And when it comes to the faculty that are in front of them in the classroom, in the last year, a lot of those faculty are actually managing directors, they're senior executives who are also very good at translating what goes on in their workplace into the classroom. So we've got people who are in our new degree programs, which I'll talk about in a few moments' time, who have actually contributed a lot to the development of the School of Management in the last year. And of those 40 faculty, we actually have faculty that also teach at Stanford University, at INSEAD, at Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. These are very strong universities when it comes to management subject areas, but they've also started to teach here at AIT as well. So the School of Management has got 6 programs. We actually have, on top of the master's programs, we have PhD and DBA. A DBA is a Doctorate of Business Administration for those who've got quite a lot of experience. They would like to stay in work, but they would like to get a doctorate and do applied research. When it comes to the master's programs, this year we started 2 new master's programs in August. The first of those that you can see in front of you is the MSc in Business Analytics and Digital Transformation. So this started, as I said, in August, and this was developed talking to businesses in Thailand and across the region. And we were asking those businesses what type of program is particularly useful to them. Who would they like to see coming into their workplace in the next 10 years? And many of them were talking about the importance of having students who had finished off their master's programs, who understood how analytics and technology is transforming their business, their industry. So we built a program, 75% of that program is taught by executives who are actually in analytics and technology for transformation purposes. A big feature of this particular program is at the bottom. It's about the different type of courses that are applied, courses for digital transformation, and especially about mindset development. So we have courses on change management, we have them on agile thinking, and also on soft skill leadership development. The other program that was launched in August is the MSc in International Finance. Again, we have some heavyweights from the finance world in Thailand, in Hong Kong, in Singapore, who contribute to teaching this particular MSc program. And the courses that have already started include the valuation and investment course. And it's been very popularly received by the students who started the program in August. The next program is one we're particularly proud of, and that's the Strengthened MBA program, which was ranked a few weeks ago so highly by QS in the 2021 rankings. This is taught by experienced faculty and senior executives. It's pivoted to become very industry focused. We've attracted students who are increasingly mature, so a good MBA program attracts people who are mature students, and the average age is 28 at the moment, and they share a lot of knowledge amongst each other in the classroom. An MBA is a blend of general knowledge and more specialized content as well, and every year we include new courses. One that's actually starting this weekend is on consultancy skills. In January, we have one on negotiation skills, and students taking this MBA can also take some of the courses which have been created for the business analytics and international finance programs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Roger. So we've heard from the deans about the academic aspects of AIT. Now let's introduce the lighter side of AIT, and that is our campus life and other opportunities our students can get, which is, I think we all agree, also a significant part of their AIT experience. As mentioned, AIT is based in 2 different locations in Bangkok. We name them the main campus, which is on the beautiful outskirt of Bangkok, and the downtown campus, which is right at the center of Bangkok. So I will invite Shubhakar, first of all, to talk about our main campus.
Yes, Tanisha, AIT main campus, we are located about 40 kilometers north from downtown Bangkok. We are situated next to a number of educational, research, science, and technology institutions. We have partnership with these numerous institutions in our vicinity, and researchers and students of many institutes share research facility. So we are not in Bangkok. We do have, Roger will say later that we do have some operation in Bangkok, but our main campus is in beautiful resort type environment in the outskirts of Bangkok. And if you look at the AIT campus, we are basically residential campus. That means all faculties, staff, and students, they live together in a community, and it has got numerous facilities such as our solar powered modern AIT library, clinic for the health needs of our residents, bookstores, and many other daily needs things, and also a wide variety of food and fun. Our cafeteria is very international. You can get food from different kind of countries, and essentially we have a very, very beautiful and very vibrant campus life. So AIT is very green campus, as I already mentioned. We are rich in biodiversity in campus. We have a beautiful flora and fauna consisting of even a lot of birds. You can see ranging from kingfishers to the owls. And also, if you walk on the street, in our street in main campus, you will see lovely animals, particularly squirrels, and don't get scared by monitor lizard. Monitor lizard, who looks like a crocodile almost, is very long, and it's our kind of one of the friendly creatures we live with in our diversely biodiverse campus. So also in our campus, the popular mode of transportation is bicycle, which is clean, which is green, and which is low carbon. So as you can see that our campus life brings us close to our nature. Now our students get to enjoy a good balance of study and fun in campus, thanks to our student union, who is very, very active, who organizes lots of exciting events for our students, such as various kind of sports, games, even like swimming, basketball, badminton, mini marathon, and not to mention cultural shows. We are very international institute. We have our students, faculty come from over 40 countries, and our cultural shows and food fairs are very diverse, very rich, and this helps not only for teaching but also or learning, but also it helps students to get a very balanced perspective about culture, about the traditions, and also team building, which are very, very essential part of the professional life.
Thank you, Shabaka. Now, for our downtown campus, I'll give the floor to Roger, since you're there more often than any of us here. So please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so the School of Management in particular has two campuses. One is on the main campus, where we have what we call our daytime students. But we also opened a campus just over 2 years ago now in the heart of downtown Bangkok in Sukhumvit. And we're seeing gradually more students that join our evening classes and our weekend classes, as this caters for the working students who are just maybe 20, 30 minutes away from their office. They come over, they do the programs obviously in the evening time or the weekends. And so for those of you who come from Bangkok, you know probably exactly where I'm talking about. For those from outside of Thailand, middle of Bangkok is a dynamic, vibrant place. And we're finding that some of the international students, especially from China, they like coming over to be in one of the clusters, which is close to the campus, where they can go through and travel around a little bit through the greater Bangkok area. But the photos you see in front of you, Column Tower, the place that we're actually based, is the photo on the right-hand side. So we're right next to a park that you can see there, and Column Tower is the second building on the left-hand side from that park photo. But yeah, these are some of the pictures of downtown Bangkok. It's a great place to be, and thank you very much for allowing me to go through and explain a little bit about the downtown Bangkok campus, where School of Management activities take place.
Thank you, Roger. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind our viewers that they can leave questions in the comment boxes below the Facebook Live window, and we'll answer in written form, and also we'll select some questions so that our deans can address your questions more directly later on in our Q&A section. So now let's shift gears a little bit and focus on opportunities our students can get. One recent initiative of AIT is the establishment of the Entrepreneurship Center, and Dieter here is also the director of the center. So Dieter, could you walk us through the objectives and the activities of the Entrepreneurship Center and the opportunities our students can get from the center?
Yes, thank you. So the AIT Entrepreneurship Center was founded in September 2019. So it's not that old yet. So we want to make it a focal point in AIT for our faculty, staff, and students and alumni, you know, for their entrepreneurial activities, to incubating young entrepreneurs and providing them with the entrepreneurial spirit and, you know, innovative thinking. So our goal is to make it a breeding ground, you know, for future business leaders, as well as a learning center where AIT students, faculty, alumni can come together and share their knowledge and to create innovative ideas and businesses. We also introducing some minor in entrepreneurship in the coming year. So the center has some physical spaces, as you can see on this slide. We call them creator space for co-working, and we call it makerspace for prototyping and building stuff. And we have a support space where we have some experts helping you in filing a patent or writing a business plan. So we also have various activities going on, which you can see here, some pictures. So we have short pitches, you know, for business competitions, and we have workshops in different areas to learn about how to file a patent, for example. We have very frequently expert talks where we invite an expert from a particular domain to come to the campus and share their experience. And very exciting, we have hackathons where, you know, we form groups of students and they get a certain, they have a certain goal to fulfill, a certain problem to solve, and they basically work day and night for 2 days, you know, until they solve the problem and they're presented. Yeah. So those are our major activities. So with all these activities, you know, we are supporting AIT's mission and AIT's motto, you know, social impact with innovation.
Thank you, Dieter. So that was our introduction of AIT. Now, on top of all these programs and opportunities we just looked at, AIT is introducing new initiatives because we understand the changing education landscape in this globalized world. So in addition to our more traditional 2-year master's degrees, we are now offering 1-year master's degrees and the flexible degree options in various programs. So let's start with our 1-year master's programs. Let me direct my question to you, Roger. What are the benefits of these 1-year master's programs compared to the more conventional 2-year programs?
Okay, well, first of all, my background is from the UK and Hong Kong, where the normal master's degree is 1 year. So having a 2-year degree, that's something which is a little bit unusual. So it's very popular. We've seen in those 2 countries, people flying in from different parts of Asia to take a 1-year master's. And the feedback that they've given us is that 1 year is a perfect amount of time for them to be outside of the workplace. So it's a brief break for them, and that's one major advantage. It's very, very good for working people. Second reason is that you actually do very similar amounts of coursework compared to a 2-year program. So the difference between a 1 and a 2-year program tends to be the research thesis option that a 2-year program has. So you have the same amount of kind of coursework content, but it's in 1 year, not 2 years. And thirdly, there's the reduced price of a one-year program compared to a two-year program. So they're really the three reasons that the one-year masters is particularly popular.
Thank you, Roger. Now over to Dieter. One-year master's programs have also become increasingly popular in the engineering sector as well. How so?
Yes, correct. So they are popular actually with both, fresh bachelor graduates, but also, with professionals who are in the job already for some time. For fresh graduates, the one-year master just gives you the edge, to land your first top job, and to distinguish yourself, from the many other, bachelor graduate students. So for professionals who are in the job already, so they consider the one-year master, to give them, to upgrade their skills and so on, and to maybe change job and find another employer to go up the career ladder.
Okay, thank you, Dieter. Now over to you, Shabakar. What about in fields of environmental resources and development? How can one-year master's programs benefit individuals in these fields?
Yeah, as Dieter and Roger already mentioned, some of the advantage points of one-year master's program, which also applies to the field our school deals with. Particularly in the field of environment, resource, and development, there's a huge need for professional upliftment in the key issues. As I mentioned earlier, that we deal with issues such as food, energy, water, climate change, natural resources, urbanization, and development issues. So in all these areas, the need for professional upliftment is enormous. Now, we provide compact learning environment through one-year master's program and making best use of time for professionals. You know that it's not easy for professionals to get out from their job for two years, but in 1 year, very compact learning, if possible. I think this is what is the plus point, and particularly in the international organizations, in the private sector, government agencies, they are more looking towards skill enhancement, new additional learning, which is exactly what we are trying to offer in very compact 1 year master's program. This will really help professionals to excel their career.
All right, thank you very much. So this seems to be an across-the-board change spanning all sectors in the education going forward. We can expect, I guess, to see more and more of these one-year master's programs which directly feed experts into the workforce. So let's then look at our one-year master's programs AIT is offering. Let's start with SOM.
It's a pretty simple one. All of our programs are offered as 1 or 2 years. So that's the MBA International Finance and also Business Analytics and Digital Transformation. So all of our master's programs are offered as a 1 year mode as well as 2 years.
Are they structurally different? Can you maybe go into the details of the structures?
Yes, it's so for these particular degrees, there's 36 credits, meaning that it's entirely coursework. The 2 year program includes either an exchange or an internship or a minor in entrepreneurship or a research thesis. So for those people who are looking to maybe do a PhD in the future, we'd expect them to do a 2 year program because that sets them up for an application for a PhD in the future. For those people who want to go through and get the same level of knowledge from coursework without doing the additional exchange or internship or thesis, then the 1 year option is the one to go for. But that's the difference between the two. Really 12 credits, and that 12 credits is done in the second year, and it's where people go on internship or exchange.
Thank you, Roger. And now over to Dieter for SET.
Yes. So we offer 2 1 year masters. They are relatively new and they are in very hot areas. so Internet of Things Systems Engineering, so IoT, and Data Science and Artificial Intelligence. So those are new programs, and they cater for the demand in Industry 4.0, which is developing here in Thailand, but also globally. So these one-year masters, there are 30 credits, and for students who would start this January, so they would usually do 12 credits in the first semester, 6 in the intersem, and 12 in the second semester, so they can complete the entire program within December.
Okay, thank you very much. Now over to Shubhakar for the third one-year master's programs.
Yeah, we have many one-year master's program. As I mentioned earlier, that we have over 18 our regular programs. So almost all of the regular programs do offer one-year option, one-year master's degree as an option also. But we do have also dedicated one-year master's program. We started, for example, marine plastic abatement one-year master program, which has been very, very successful. Similarly, this year we started urban sustainability planning and design one-year master's program. But those for marine plastic or urban sustainability program, we don't have two-year program. These are exclusively one-year master's program. But as I said earlier, we have our regular programs. Almost all of them do offer one-year master's degree option also. Roger mentioned earlier that one-year master's program is really for the professionals who really are not too much interested in doing research and others. So we provide a wide variety of such opportunities through our over 18 regular programs plus 2-3 additional exclusive one-year master's programs. So this huge pool of programs really help working professionals, and we are looking forward to serve their need from our school.
Thank you. We have actually one-year master's program in disaster preparedness, mitigation, and management offered jointly by SET and CERT, both schools. So can Dieter and Shubhakar explain more about this special program?
Yes, Tanisha, we have a disaster preparedness program, which is very much inter-school program between our School of Engineering and Technology and our School of Environment Resources and Development program. So from our school, which is again the sustainability school, we bring much needed the environment and development perspective or those dimensions into the program, such as flood, climate change, resilience, mitigation, measures, including social and economic aspects of managing disaster. So we contribute to this disaster preparedness program through a bit more environment sustainability kind of dimensions.
Yes, so faculty from both CERT and SET, they actually contribute to this program to make it truly interdisciplinary. And so with many engineering aspects from SET, in particular, SET is contributing, to earthquake engineering and safety. I think we can say we are the leading authority with everything related to earthquakes in SET in Thailand and the region. And we will be called first if some earthquake happened somewhere around.
Okay, thank you. Now, apart from these wonderful one-year master's options, AIT is also introducing the flexible degree options. We have added the web address for the landing page, which can provide further details as well. If you're interested, you may want to visit the page later. But let me first of all ask Dieter, can you give us more information about this option? When we say flexible, what do we mean?
Yes, correct. So that's a very exciting new option we have. And if we say flexible, we mean flexibility in time management for the student and also flexibility in the cost management. So what does it mean for time management? Actually, students can attend classes from any location or they can view the recording later. So for the cost management, students in this option, they can actually pay class by class instead of paying per semester. So this means they can control their cost better just by maybe taking less classes. However, we have a minimum requirement of 6 credits, which are typically 2 classes per semester. So the flexible master option is a new alternative to our traditional on-campus master. It's applicable to selected programs, which we will see later. And students will actually receive exactly the same academic degree, and there are the same academic requirements like in our traditional on-campus options. So students can do almost all the coursework online. That's made possible via our hybrid mode of instruction. We will later learn more about this. And however, certain programs may require some labs and research work which needs to take place on the campus. So so how does this work in a nutshell? So typically the first year is online via hybrid instruction, and students may spread their coursework over more than 1 year. And after the completion of the coursework, students typically will come to the campus. In certain programs, that's not necessary, but in some programs, they come to the campus if these programs required, laboratory research work. So, but let me clarify, this is not really online campus. So students can come to the campus. They can also attend our graduation ceremony at AIT at the end of the program. In total, they can spread their study time over 4 years.
Can I just add to that? From a School of Management perspective, we've actually seen quite a big increase in people inside Thailand and outside Thailand who are working, who can't really give up time to go through and contribute to going onto campus for a large amount of time. So they've actually been writing to us, emailing, asking, do we have the flexible options available? And I do believe that next year, we're going to see quite a few students that will be taking the flexible masters. I would like to reiterate that this is exactly the same content that anybody coming to campus, to main campus in person, in class, would receive. It's exactly the same degree.
Yes, correct. So with this option, we allow students, to work and to learn at the same time. And at the same time they are learning, they can still pursue their career. So this has a lot of advantages. And all the informations are visible on our website, where you see the link now on the screen.
Yeah, as the name itself suggests, this is a flexible program. So flexible option. So flexible option means it provides lots of flexibility, which Dieter and Roger already mentioned. Again, why this flexibility is important? Because there are candidates, there are students who need those flexibilities. They can't pursue the regular program. And we offer those flexibilities in terms of time, in terms of credit taking, in terms of how they pay, and also whether they can make it to the campus or not. So all these flexibilities together really caters need for those professionals, need for those people who really need those flexibilities. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to get benefit from the education that AIT provides to them.
Yes, correct. And we will introduce this in this coming, January 2021 semester. So these flexible degree options will be available.
Okay, thank you. Deans, again, the aim is for AIT to better respond to the current market demands, allowing more flexibility for those who would like to advance their career via higher education without having to compromise their work, basically. So what are the programs under this flexible degree option AIT is offering now? Maybe we can start with CERT. So Shibakar, please.
Yes, Tanisha, as I said earlier that our school has 3 departments. Department of Energy, Environment and Climate Change, Department of Food, Agriculture and Bioresources, and Department of Development and Sustainability. So we have the Climate Change and Sustainable Development Program, which offers this flexible option. Similarly, we have Food Innovation, Nutrition and Health Program, which offer this flexibility. And also we have Agriculture System and Engineering and Agribusiness Management Program. In addition, from our Development and Sustainability Department, we have Natural Resource Management Program and also Rural and Regional Development Planning Program. So in together, 6 programs from our school do provide this flexibility option. And also the other programs are also exploring, and particularly those programs which really do not have lab, they are very much particularly interested in this program, which is also doable. Also, the beauty of this hybrid mode of instruction that we have excelled in last few months, thanks to the COVID. At least there is something to thank for the COVID that we could excel hybrid mode of instruction. Because of this, all these things are possible, and our other programs also looking at possibilities to offer in the flexible modes in the coming days.
Now over to Roger for SOM.
So it's all of our programs again, not just the master's programs, but our DBA and PhD, which are taught at the weekend. They're also available as flexible mode. But when we're looking at just the master's programs, our evening MBA is also available as a flexible mode. The MSc programs that we run in business analytics, digital transformation, and international finance, they're taught mainly over the weekend, and they're also available via flexible mode.
Okay, thank you. And last but not least, Dieter for SET, please.
Yeah, so as said, the majority of the programs are offered in this flexible option. In total, those are 12 programs, which you can see now on the screen. So, in engineering, we have a lot of labs and stuff like this, but many of these programs, like computer science and telecommunication, information management, and so on, they now offer those as computer labs, which can be done remotely. And some of our programs, they develop completely new ideas. So for example, the IoT program created actually a laboratory kit, so a hardware with sensors, actuators, little solar panels, switches, and so on, that every student will get to really do, physical experiments in this program. So, to summarize for all these 3 schools, we have now more than 20 choices here. And I think this is very, very attractive. And we are very excited to offer this, this January, and, to give this opportunity to our students here in Thailand and the region, to continue their education, regardless of, our, the COVID-19 pandemic.
Okay, thank you, Deans. Now, I guess with the current pandemic, we do need to address the issue. The situation in Thailand now is actually improving at a much faster speed compared to many other countries. And actually, AIT has already been able to welcome many international students into our campus. Nonetheless, we are aware that many of our prospective students might still be affected by the pandemic in their country. So let me just walk us all back to early 2020 when COVID-19 hit. All educational institutes were forced to adapt pretty much immediately, and AIT was actually no exception. So how did AIT respond in terms of our teaching and learning methods to ensure that AIT continued offering quality education to students and without missing a beat, as phrased by our president, Dr. Eden Woon? So this is an open discussion. I'd like all the deans to just jump in whenever they want.
Yes, this was indeed a very big challenge for AIT. But we we tackled it, and we started by establishing actually a framework under the COVID-19 crisis situation, based on 3 simple but very fundamental principles. And these 3 principles were that AIT, shall continue its mission in postgraduate education here in Thailand and for the region, and there shall be no delay in education for our existing students and for new students who want to join us. And there shall be no compromise in the high quality of education that AIT has always provided. So with this in mind, actually we developed this hybrid teaching mode, and also we fitted out all the classrooms with latest technology, meaning video conferencing, cameras, big screens, audio systems, to create those smart classrooms for this hybrid mode of instruction.
Yeah, and I think it's important that we've been doing this now for the last 2 or 3 months, and 50% of our students are actually in the classroom physically there, and 50% are joining via video link. And it's worked out surprisingly well at the moment. I think the faculty and the students have been surprised by how seamless this has been, going from one to the other and then onto the hybrid mode.
Yeah, we already have lots of experience. When the COVID hit, we started teaching online. Then over the course of time, we moved into this hybrid instruction mode with the smart classrooms. So we do already have lots of experience, which really help us to move to these flexible options. We got a great feedbacks from our students on how to provide better education, learning from even students' experience, and try to devise the platform which really works for faculties, also for students. We have learned together with our students, we have mastered how to provide online education. We have learned how to conduct assignments. We have learned how to do evaluation, how to interact between students and instructors efficiently. It's not surprising that in some assignment you have students online in real time, then also you have students in the class. They have to discuss, they have to work together. So in this new era, digital era, this also has provided us new options to do things and to do differently, which we never thought we'll be doing in the past. So taking this all as a positive hive through our smart classrooms, through our learning, collective learning with our students on how to deliver wonderful program that as much we can, we are going to bring this together for this flexible mode of options. That's where I think we can help and we can excel in this area.
Yes, so for our online students, our goal was to make it as close as possible, the experience as they would be in the real physical classroom. How we achieved this, actually our online students can not only see the lecturer, they can also see the other students in the class. So we have different cameras with different camera views, and they can also talk to the lecturer and to the students in the class and vice versa. So, as we mentioned, so we got very good feedback about this hybrid mode and the use of our smart classrooms.
Actually, I'm proud to say that I was the first person to actually go live on hybrid. The Language Center was able to be the first unit to use the hybrid mode for our bridging program during the month of June. Of course, I think it was unnatural for all teachers like us, to talk to 2 groups of students at the same time. But I think it was the best solution for the situation that we had at that time. So I think Shibaka mentioned a little bit about us using the hybrid mode for even post-pandemic period as well. So what about the other schools? Do you plan to use the hybrid mode after this, if we ever get out of this pandemic?
Yeah, sure. Our flexible degree option, the flexible master, is depending on the hybrid mode of instruction. Yeah. So we will not stop this. We will go on, COVID pandemic or not.
Yeah, and the same thing with the School of Management. We've actually been looking to use this technology for some time, and as Shobhaka said earlier, COVID's actually given us the chance to start using this technology much more than we had anticipated and quicker, but we can see some of the benefits of it.
Yeah, I mean, in addition to the flexible, options that we are discussing today, learning from this, smart classroom hybrid mode of instruction, we are also looking forward to organize other kind of events, particularly training programs, webinar, number of other events. Again, as I said earlier, before March, we really never thought it seriously, although we could do it. Now, taking advantage from what we went through during this COVID era, we see huge opportunities to go online, hybrid, or synchronous, different kind of modes in order to provide a new and better learning environment for a wide set of our stakeholders. So we are quite excited to really see this, and we would like to continue in the future, through these, online and hybrid options.
Yeah, speaking for the Entrepreneurship Center, also, all our events, which I introduced before, like the pitches and so on, and the expert talks, we are all doing them now in hybrid mode. So we always have students, faculty in the Entrepreneurship Center, and we have a couple of them online.
Thank you all. Now, before we get to the Q&A, let me just quickly talk about how you can apply to AIT and join our family. Now, you can visit our admissions website. The web address is now on the screen. You can also scan the QR code to go directly to the application form. Now, two very important documents you need for the application: the academic transcript and a satisfactory English score. You can check the eligibility criteria and other required documents on the admissions website as well. Now, for the English score, we accept the IELTS and the TOEFL IBT or internet-based test. We also offer our own in-house English entry test or EET, and you can find information about our in-house test and register for the test on our Language Center website following the address shown right now or by scanning the QR code on the screen now as well. Now, we have the Q&A section, and we've been collecting some questions, and I think our team has been busily answering questions on the Facebook Live as well. We've been getting some questions behind the scene as well. So the first question, this is from me actually. We are now accepting applications for January 2021. So when is the deadline for the application?
Maybe I can start to answer this question. So for the flexible master option, so this deadline is 31 of December, and for Thai students, this is the same deadline. However, for non-Thai, the deadline will be earlier because of the visa requirement.
Yeah, I think most programs, we're talking about the end of the year, 31st of December, but it's important to remember English score and all the documentation. But it does vary program by program, but the norm will be the end of December.
Yeah, but you don't have to wait till the last moment. You can always apply earlier, which is much more important, and we really encourage you to apply well in advance.
You can apply tomorrow.
Exactly.
Thank you. Okay, so let me check some questions from the audience. First question, do I need to have work experience if I'm interested in one-year masters?
Well, not necessarily, but generally when we say one-year master's program, we are looking at the group which is a bit more experienced, which is professional people who want to uplift their career. So our focus in that direction, but that does not mean that fresh graduate cannot do it. Of course, the fresh graduate who really don't want to go to the research career, and want to go for 1-year master's program, definitely very much welcome, and it's also possible.
Yes, that's correct. So for a set, you know, we are accepting fresh graduates, and I explained before, you know, for fresh graduates, this is a great opportunity, you know, to distinguish yourself from many other, you know, bachelor degree holders. And so we are accepting fresh graduates, and also, you know, professionals. But remember, the 1-year master does not really qualify you to do a PhD. So the 1-year master is designed, you know, if you want to go back to industry, get a top job in the industry. That is where it's for.
Yeah, maybe I can just add a few last words to this. For the MSc programs that SOM runs, fresh graduates, working professionals, absolutely fine. For the MBA program, we prefer to see people with work experience because that's a really important ingredient to a successful MBA program. So we do prioritize, we encourage people with work experience to do the MBA, those without work experience, the MSc programs.
Okay, thank you. Actually, the second question is about whether they can continue the into the doctoral degrees with the one-year masters. But I think, Dieter, you have already answered that question. So let me move on to the next question. This is about hybrid mode of teaching. How can you communicate with both online and offline students in a hybrid classroom? Does it affect the quality of the lesson?
Well, you know, let me jump in, because I also teach myself in the hybrid classroom. I don't feel any difference. And sometimes, you know, I feel that I'm giving more time to my online students. Actually, I'm asking them more questions. And also online students are actually very active. We have a very good sound system. We have a very good microphone system, and we have multiple cameras. So online students, in my experience, I myself teaching in the class, you know, I think it is running very seamlessly, and I think the whole learning atmosphere environment is quite nice, actually.
Yeah, it's been a bit surprising. I think that students and faculty are a little bit wary about hybrid, and you know, everybody's got their preference. There will be some people who would definitely prefer in person, but we actually see some students that give us feedback to say that they love the flexibility. For the evening MBA, for instance, there's been flooding a few weeks ago, and the students that couldn't get to the class because the streets were flooded, they actually went on to Zoom, and they enabled them to go into the class live and contribute. So it didn't actually affect really their instruction at all. They still managed to go through and get through a 3-hour class without having to be there in person. So it adds a great degree of flexibility to what we offer.
Okay, let's go to the next question. What will be the process for applying for the flexible degree option?
Okay, maybe I can answer this. So the application is in general through our online application form. So, and I think we showed the link before. So if you wish to apply for the flexible master option, so you go to our online application form, then you choose the school, then you choose the program, and then you will see a drop-down menu with the different options. And there you can check if this flexible option is available, and you can click this, and with this you are applying for it.
Okay, thank you. One last question, and this is a long one. What is the main focus? I think the question poser was actually talking about CERD. The person wants to know if it is purely academic, for example, publication of research papers, or is it more international collaborations in the form of joint projects?
Yes, I think, you know, in our school, as I said earlier, we are very much multidisciplinary school. At the same time, we do have, you know, also, some engineering and also science component. it really depends on, what kind of program you are applying in. For example, if you apply to environmental engineering and management, there is lots of, environmental engineering component. But at the same time, you have other programs where there is less engineering component and more applied. Generally speaking, AIT is very much applied, very much society oriented, kind of multidisciplinary school, our school, and where we do teaching, but we want to bring teaching and the real world and our research all together. So essentially, our motto is that we blend teaching, research, and the outreach activity together. And we are looking at the real life problem solving. So from that angle, definitely we are very much multidisciplinary. But again, depending on program to program, the focus could be a little bit different. One has interest in research, for example, they typically go for 24 credit, coursework and other component research. But if you are interested in 1-year master's program, definitely it's a coursework. But if you are interested in flexible option, yes, you have an option for coursework also plus research. So depending on type of program you are opting for, the theme you are opting for, that balance a little bit, less and more in one or other area. But I can tell you that there is a lot of flexibility. Students are always our center of attraction. So whatever students wish to do, we try to facilitate into the direction where they want to excel themselves.
Would other deans like to add anything? The question was for Sir, but I guess Seth and Song, if you'd like to answer the same question.
The way I would take that question from Som is we get the question sometimes for students that want to do a doctoral thesis, and do they do one which is theoretical, abstract, or applied? And usually for some, there is a bit of a difference. So for PhD, we offer PhD for people who want to go through and build up the skill set to become a professor, a faculty of the future. Those that are working, who are maybe manager, director level, and they would like a doctorate that actually helps them with their career upliftment within the workplace, they do a DBA, a Doctoral Business Administration, which is much more applied. So that's how I take that question from a SOM perspective.
Yeah, so at SET, we have the entire span from, theoretical and to very, very, very applied and, in the field, hands-on research and work. So this depends on the student, and of course, it also depends on the supervisor and, what they want to do together, either in the master work, master thesis, or in their PhD research.
Yeah, I just want to add that, I just want to show you the spectrum. For example, if you are interested in biotechnology application for foods, food related things, then actually you can do very much technology oriented work, right? Of course, it's very applied, but also very much technology intensive. In other hand, if you are interested in energy financing, climate financing, or if you are interested in regional development, if you are interested in how to manage urban area, or how to streamline, the gender into our development process. So you can see that the diversity is huge, and it really depends on which program you are into. But once again, we are very much problem solving, real life oriented, applied, institutions, rather than the theoretical kind of studies.
So speaking about diversity and the span over a large area, at SET, there's another measure is size. So we work from nanotechnology, to huge structures, bridges and skyscrapers, and in both of these fields, on some theoretical, but also on a very, very applied,
So as our motto goes, I guess, social impact with innovation. So we're aiming to create that social impact using our knowledge and research. Okay, so we've had a lot of questions actually, but I think our team is answering more questions in written form for us. So that wraps up this edition of AIT Roadshow Live. I'd like to thank our 3 deans for being on the show and providing all the essential information for our audience tonight. I'd like to also thank our team behind the scene who have been busily responding to all the comments and who have made it possible for us to be sitting here talking to the viewers. They basically make the show possible for us. And I'd like to thank our audience for tuning in. Now, our next road show will be on November 7th, and it will be a hybrid one using our hybrid system with some audience on site at our downtown campus and some online. We will provide more information about this event on our Facebook page very soon. Now, that's it for this edition of AIT Roadshow Live. See you again next time.
Okay. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining.